All right, so 3.8 talking about discounts, taxes, and tips. So first we're going to talk about a discount, and it's a savings. So a discount is a savings, and therefore subtracted. So it's subtracted from the original number. Taxes and tips are something that's paid on top. So it's in addition to a purchaser expense. So therefore, they are added. They are added to the original price. Okay. So steps to doing this, you find the amount of discount, tax, or tip by rewriting the percent as a decimal. So you rewrite the percent as a decimal and then multiply it by the original number. Okay, so we're pretty much taking whatever percentage that we're saving or adding on to and creating it into a decimal and multiplying it by the original number. And then if it's a discount, you would subtract that value. Or if it's the tax or tip, you would add that to the original number. Okay. So there's the steps to discounts, tax, and tips. If you're asked to find the original price, okay, so sometimes you'll be given the sale price of something or the discount amount, and we might be asked to find the original price. So you do that by subtracting the discount percent from 100. So if it's like 35% off, we would subtract that from 100, and this will give us the percent that we paid. Okay, now we're going to take the percent we paid and divide it by the sale price, and we'll write that as a decimal. So I know that was kind of confusing, so let's kind of review this. So we want to find the new price if it's discounted by 5%. So we rewrite that percent as a decimal, which think back to 3.5. Okay, so this as a decimal is 0.05. Okay, so we're going to multiply this 0.05 original price, which was that $200. So 0.05 times 200, that gives us, okay, so do that in your calculator. Do 0.05 times 200 in your calculator. 10. Now we take that number and subtract it from the original. So the original was 200. And now we subtract the number we just found, which 200 minus 10 is 190. So now that's our price. So we would pay $190. Okay, so that's going to be our answer. So this is helpful. Think about if your family goes Black Friday shopping and they're trying to find the best deal. You'd want to shop around and see which one you get the best discount at or which store. So we want to find the original price of something. Okay, finding the original price of something that's on sale, for $13.20. And it was discounted by 22%. So, as mentioned before, we would subtract the discount percent from 100. So we would do 100 minus our discounted percent of 22. So in my calculator, I'd do 100 minus 22. And you're going to get 78% was what percentage we paid for the product. Now we take the sale price and divide it by the percent paid. So we take this 13.20, and we divide it by that 78%. But this 78%, we need to make it into a decimal first. So we need to make it into a decimal, which is 0.78. So I'm going to do that in the calculator. What's 13.20 divided by 0.78? When you do that, you should get 16.92. So the original price was $16.92. This wants us to check our answer. So if we do 1692 times 78% in your calculator, you should get, okay, so do that in your calculator right now. 16.92 times 78%. You should get 13.197, which we round in dollars to 13.20. So we got the right answer there. Okay, so let's do all of this in the kind of simpler steps here. So let's go to the next page. And we're breaking it down. Okay. No, of course I didn't record that. All right, so the directions here say find each new amount. So we want to find the new amount. I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth. Okay, so we set it up by putting the percent as a decimal. So make this percent as a decimal. So 0.30 times the original amount. Okay, so to find discount, how much we're discounting it by, take the percent, times it by the original, and that'll give us our discounted price. So do 0.30 times 250. So do 0.30 50. That should give you 75. Now, again, because we're discounting something, we're going to subtract those values. So I'm going to do that 250, which is our original price, minus our discounted price of 75. And that's going to give us our new amount of, do 250 minus 75 in your calculator. And that should give you $150. Okay, so I want you to try this third one for me. I want you to take a moment and try this third one for me. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you got a new price of $68. So again, we took our dollar amount, multiplied it by our percent discounted, okay, which was 15%, and that got us a discount of $12, which we then subtract from the original price. And that's how you find the discount. Okay, so let's kind of do the opposite. So now we want to find the original amount. So now we want to find the original amount. Okay, so we subtract the discounted percent from 100. So looking at this problem, our discount was 22%. So I would do 100 minus 22. And that's going to give us our percent that we paid, which if you do that is 78%. Now you take the dollar amount that you paid, so $66.30, and divide it by the amount that we pay as a decimal, so 0.78. So in your calculator, you're doing 66.30 divided by 0.78. And when you do that, you should get $85. Okay, so I want you to do this third one for me. All right, so hopefully you got that the original amount was $20. All right, so let's talk about tax or tip. So we've talked about discount, which we subtracted. we've talked about finding the original amount. But when we're talking about tip or tax, that's when we add it to the original number, okay? So looking at this first example, we did our dollar amount times our tip, which this is anytime you go out to eat, you have to leave a tip. And you don't want to be that person that does the tip on a calculator, okay? You should be able to do this stuff in your head, ideally, when you get older. But it's a good practice to start now. You jerk. All right. Once you do that, you get the amount of tax or tip, and then you add that to the original amount. And that'll be how much you pay. Okay? So let's talk about a 15% tax on a $189 airplane ticket. So we do 189 times 15% as a decimal, which is 0.15. So do that in your calculator. What's 189 times 0.15 in your calculator? Hopefully you get a total of 2835, which this is our tax amount. So this has to be added to our original price. So we would do 189 plus 2835. Okay? So now do that in your calculator. Do 189 plus 28.35. And you should get 217.35. All right, so my self-paced friends, these next two are your homework, and they're due on 2/11. So February 11th, those two problems are due for homework. Okay, so start working on those now.